going to show you how to drape a sari like this. What the hell am I doing? When you start, you need a petticoat, and usually they come with a heavy sari. Some cheap saris, they don't necessarily come with a petticoat. You can get these easily on eBay now. I prefer cotton ones, and in a colour that matches the sari. If you're gonna, and it's got to be the colour that matches around the waist. It should be a colour that enhances the sari if you can't get the exact colour. So obviously you wouldn't wear a red underneath here because red will wash out the gold. You can also wear petticoats in satin, but with heavy saris, satin tends to slip and the sari will fall out. Okay, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to use this petticoat here, which is from my web store. It's actually cut in an A-line or a fishtail, so it's thinner in the top, around the waist, so it's hip hugging, and then it flares out the bottom, which really makes the sari look really beautiful. It's got a pattern to it and a sheen on it, which will pick up over the sari and produce this beautiful effect underneath. And whenever I've worn this sari with this petticoat, people have asked me whether it's a lehenga sari or a sari because they just can't work it out. It just gives another effect to the whole sari and changes the look of it, makes it look more heavier looking. The first things first, let's get the petticoat on. So zip it up on the right side of your body. Normally I'd say left side, but as the sari will come over this side, then it will get hidden here nicely. You don't need to be too tight with this. Put a little bit of stomach pulled in and tight won't harm, it will just help keep it up. And then tuck the strings inside. This blouse doesn't come with the sari. This is one from my web store that I pinched for myself. It's a perfect match. The sari blouse that came with it had green bits in it, and I just wanted it all red and gold. It's got a gorgeous deep back, so I'm going to pop this on off camera, of course. I'd love to say I'm lovely and slim and I have no under boobage, but I'm over 40 and I'm just going to let it all hang out and be comfortable. Remember, I'm really short. I'm 4'11", so it makes sense for me to wear my petticoat higher above my belly button, because then I get the whole length of the sari. If I wear it any lower, it doesn't sit well on me, and plus I have to tuck in more, which gives me more of a waist. I also don't like to show my belly button, so although I don't mind my top being a little open or my back, my belly area, I just don't like that showing so much. I guess it's because I don't have much of a belly. I have too much of a belly. So when you get your sari, you want to identify it and sort of get the main areas and the main pieces. And this is particularly important for those who don't know too much about saris. You get a sari towards the left-hand side, the end piece, that goes over the shoulder. This is usually more ornate. It has a border that goes all around, and sometimes this area here actually looks different in pattern to the rest of the sari. As you go towards the beginning of the sari, you'll see that it stops, the border stops. So this bit here is the area that tucks into the waist. And then on this particular one, I've actually got pleats that are set into my sari. It came like this. So this area here is usually the bit that goes around here. If I just drape my sari like this, it looks a little weird. You don't actually do this one completely with, completely straight with folds in the middle here. So I'm going to drape this one now. Take the end piece, starting around the middle of the waist. So where you actually start could depend. Sometimes it's at the back, sometimes it's at the side, and sometimes it's anywhere here. What determines it is this pattern here. So you want this to kind of start just where your folds would be. If you start it over here, you'd have a bit of a gap around here. If you start it too far over, you might run out of sari and it's just a bit too much. So you want to kind of just lay this in between your legs. You want the sari to touch the floor. Whether you put shoes on before or not depends on whether you're going to a venue where your shoes are required to be taken off. For example, the temple. If you're going to go to a temple, then I suggest putting it on without your shoes. So then just tuck that in loosely. When I mean loosely, don't put it too tight across there. You kind of want to leave a little bit of space to walk around with. Turn around and start placing this at your back. You don't have to tuck in too much. Don't pull it too close towards your bum. And then just tuck that in. Make sure it's just touching the floor. If for a bridal effect you touching, you know, sort of literally draping a little bit on the floor. The back tends to rise up a little as well once you've done the other part. And then this area, you can just do either the regular pleats like this. You can see we're getting to this area now. And I actually prefer doing it like this, in a traditional way, so that you get an effect like this. Or you can do singular little pleats to make it look a bit more modern. So for this tutorial I'm going to do the singular pleat. So all I'm doing is just gathering, no neat way at all, just gather a pleat like this and like this, and then just tuck that in towards the right hand side of your body. I'm going to bring you in closer so you can see that again for the second one. So take that at the waist and fold it in. This will give you a bit more of a flared effect. And then I'm going to fold this in and out like this, so that this seam starts inside and not on the outside. Just going to move slightly this way and tuck that in. Starting like this. So I'm taking the rest of the sari now, just picking it up from where I've tucked in that piece here. Don't worry about this sticking out, it's going to get covered. Just pass it from your left hand to your right hand from behind, just holding onto that top edge and bring it forward. Now from here you can do either a loose drape like this. I actually don't think I've done a tutorial for loose drape. Literally it's just pick it up like that, pin it at the back, do a few more gathers here, pin that underneath here, and then you can quite comfortably go. Just checking to see if that border starts. That cut can be seen and it can't. I'm not talking about this cut, I'm talking about the cut that went inside. And you can see that I've got it dragging on the floor a little bit for a really glam effect. People always ask me, how do you walk in saris? You just pick up the folds here, in the front here, and then you just walk. I can walk without doing that. I've learned to kick out as I walk. So you would just adjust the sari so that it shows to its best over your arm. I find that it does make me look taller, it does make it look really ultra glam, but you know, if it's a family wedding or whatever, it does get in the way, and I don't tend to do that, but there you go, that's how that would look. You can even bring this out, I haven't pinned it in the back here, but you can even bring it in the front here for additional comfort. Okay, so this isn't the way I was going to show you, I digress. So this is where it can get confusing for some people, and the easiest way to do this is if you look in a mirror, as I'm doing now, I'm looking in the mirror behind you, this bit here goes across the body and then everything else is folded on top of it like this. So if you feed it up like that, you can get a feel for your pleats. Bring that around, don't let go of the top. Just check them. So when you're wearing them, this side here falls on the outside of your body. You want to make sure that none of these pieces here come out from outside the sari. So you never want it hanging outside. And if you go back to the video where I wore this sari for my cousin's wedding, it was sticking out a little bit. So you want to make sure that doesn't happen. And you want this to fall over your shoulder. You can let go of this bit now. I'm doing that really awkwardly because I want to look graceful on camera and I'm so not. This should fall over your shoulders and down towards your knee. Because I'm short, I kind of want it to go a little bit longer, so I'm going to try and get it a little bit longer. And that's as far as I'm going to get with this sari. Just play around with it. You can undo this a little bit, just tuck it in closer. I would actually pin this now here because of the way that the sari is. It's just too, this border here is just too thick. Always pin from the underside. No pins should ever show, ever, ever, ever. So once that's thrown over the shoulder, you kind of want to get this bit down a little bit, hidden behind here. Some people like to show the border. You can definitely do that too, just by pulling these bits in. So we pull these bits in, you can actually pin it from underneath. I'll show you. Just lift up this top flap here, and then just put a pin through there, either on the inside or the outside. If you can do it on the underside, that's a lot better. It just won't be seen. Just drive it through there and underneath, and that will hold all those little red pieces so that the borders show beautifully. Just tidy it up a little bit. Make sure it's not too close to your neck area. The problem I have here is that the blouse is here, so it's got to come at least to here so that, you know, you've got something to hold it to. So I'm just going to find my blouse bit here, and then just put a final pin around here, and then another one at the back. What you want to do is just perhaps take this off, just have a quick check of it. If you find that these fan out too much, you can always put a pin in between here to hold those in place. But I'm quite happy with the way that this is falling. Sari draping can make you feel really hot. Yeah, I'm really happy with that, the way this is sitting. It's not straight like I had for my cousin's wedding. I've got it more like this. I think it just hugs the body a bit more, shows your curves off. And then just put a pin in underneath this layer here. Okay, so my sari draping is all done. I'm really happy with the way it draped. It draped better than it did for my cousin's wedding. I think it's sitting so comfortably. If there's any other tutorials you'd like me to make, then please do let me know. Check out my other videos that will follow at the end of this. I'm pointing that way because I'm expecting them to come in that way. Please do rate, subscribe and comment, and I'll see you soon. Bye! Here are my other videos: sari draping, dupatta setting, hairstyles, makeup, vlogs, and when you subscribe, this is the happy dance that I do.